Have you ever invited darkness in and watched your home crumble around you? Tonight, we uncover 10 homes that collapsed, burned, or vanished after hosting seances. Stick with me, a fact at number 1 will blow your mind. Inshallah, you'll watch every second. Number 10. The Wellington Parlour, 1884. In rural England, a spiritualist couple hosted a seance for wealthy neighbors. Candles flickered, tables rattled, and something spoke through a young medium in whispers no one recognized. Later that night, the parlor roof collapsed, trapping the medium inside. Rescuers found her alive but unconscious, with test claw marks gouged into the rafters overheads. 30s hook. What creature scratched right above her? 5 hours later, the entire house collapsed brick by brick onto itself, entire structure reduced to rubble. Miraculously, no one else was inside. Cliffhanger. What force dismantled an entire home? Here's the twist. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. When archaeologists excavated remnants decades later, they found hand-shaped scorch marks on the beams 8 foot tall. It wasn't gravity. Something pulled the house apart. Number 9. The Vauxhall Terrace, 1927. A London family invited a famous medium into their terrace home. During the seance, the medium screamed in French, though she spoke no French. She slumped, saying, "It's behind you." 30s hook. But what happened next will chill you. Moments later, windows shattered without wind, lights flared green, and a crack tore across the hearth. 10 days later, the house burned from the inside, embers fallen in perfect concentric circles. Firemen found no accelerant. It started in the foundation. Cliffhanger. How did the fire start from below? Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist, and remember that. The original foundation stone was traced to a Statchen charnel house, a graveyard of plague victims. Energized by the seance, it awoke and burned the home from beneath. Number 8. The McAllister Cottage, 1953. In rural Scotland, the McAllisters invited locals to a seance after finding old photographs in the attic. More than 50 people attended. As the medium began, the heavy oak door rattled, and a painting crashed into the fireplace, shattering and revealing a hidden chest behind it. 30s hook. They opened it and everything changed. A powerful gust swept through. The medium screamed, then collapsed. The guests bolted. When they turned back, the house had vanished. Literally. Cliffhanger. Where did the house go? Get ready. This will blow your mind. The house was still there, but ghost white, transparent, impossible to photograph. It stayed visible only until sunrise, then vanished, as if it had never existed. Twist. When authorities returned weeks later, only the chest remained, filled with centuries-old ashes and teeth. Number 7. The Hernandez Hacienda, 1078. In rural Spain, a couple held a seance in their Andalusian hacienda after hearing footsteps and whispers in the night. Laughing at first until the table began to sink into the floor halfway like it was being swallowed. Terts, Shuri, say. They staggered out just as the entire front wing sank during the ritual. Doorframes twisted, floors buckled. Cliffhanger. What could pull an entire wing beneath the earth? Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist, and remember that. Geologists found the house over a disused Moorish crypt, and that the seance had cracked the ceiling stones. Below lay hidden human remains. The spirits had opened their prison and claimed the land. Number 6. The Riley Row House, 1999. In Philadelphia, a séance was held in honor of a child who died in the 1920 seconds. The medium began speaking in the child's voice, naming his favorite toy and predicting his death. Ertie's hook. But this night, something unimaginable happened. A wall suddenly exploded inward, brick dust, debris flying almost hitting the guests. A minute later, the entire second story collapsed inward, with no warning. Shockingly, no one was injured, only deeply shaken. Cliffhanger. How did a masonry wall just disintegrate? Get ready. This next detail is bone-chilling. Investigators found the bricks had internal fractures like they'd been standardized. Sonic pressure tied to the medium's voice. The seance had unleashed cosmetic ruins on the structure. Abjoined the Gandhisimals. The Holloway Street, flat, 2004. A university student in Cambridge hosted a seance in her small flat to contact her late mother. Det bevisligt skaptes prothaks of what rekashadic actually keen archra ramagut halvitrus. The seance began normally. Candles flickered, messages came through the board until one spelled out, Get. Number 4. The Richmond Manor, 1892. Richmond, Virginia. The wealthy Cole family invited elite guests for a Victorian seance. The medium began to hum, and soon every mirror in the house began to fog from within. Suddenly, every guest claimed to see a different face staring back at them from the mirrors. Not their own. Sow's ease, took what they saw. Drove 2 guests mad. The next morning, servants discovered the entire West Wing collapsed inward cessed. Walls imploded, beds crushed, ceilings fallen in. Even stranger, the collapse had formed the shape of a perfect human eyes, visible only from above. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist, and remember that. Architectural records showed stocks, no weak structures, no rot, no engineering flaw. Twist. When the medium was interviewed, she whispered, they didn't want to be seen again. The mirrors weren't reflecting, they were windows. Number 3. The Black Oak Cabin, 2011. In Montana's wilderness, a group of friends recorded themselves attempting a seance near an abandoned cabin. Laughing, mocking, they tried to summon something weird for TikTok. The next day, their cabin was ash. 30's hook, but the fire didn't come from inside. The trees outside were untouched. Snow around the cabin never melted. Yet the structure burns from the roof downs as if lightning struck from a cloudless sky. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. The video footage survived on a phone found 50 feet from the rubble. Frame by frame, one shadow appears behind them, hovering mid-airs, right before the feed cuts. Fire marshal's twist? Structure collapse caused by something falling that left no impact crater. Number 2. The Greywell Residence, 1936. London again, a seance to contact a lost soldier. The session went wrong when a second entity interrupted, repeating just one word. Forgive. H. The table split in half. The chandelier fell, missing everyone. They fled the building. That night, the house caught fire. 30's hook, but it didn't burn with flames. Witnesses say the house glowed like a furnace from the inside out. The walls crackled and glass liquefied. Get ready. This one is different. Police never found accelerants. Instead, they discovered old WWI medals inside the floorboards. Twist. One belonged to a soldier executed for treason. His spirit had answered the seance, not the one they wanted, and he was not forgiving. Number 1. The Nameless House, exact location classified. The last seance ever performed here was in 1987. No one knows who built it. No blueprints, no address, only a red X on a military satellite scan. Urban explorers stumbled upon it and held a seance in the dining room. 30's hook, all four vanished within 12 minutes. Their camera equipment was found on the edge of the forest, still running. The final audio. A whisper. You shouldn't have asked. Get ready. This next detail is absolutely insane. When authorities returned, the house was gone. Not burned, not collapsed, gone. The ground where it stood was scorched in a perfect circle. But here's the part that no one saw coming. Satellite images revealed that on the night of the seance, the house moved. Not metaphorically, literally moved 2.3 miles west. New trees had grown over the old site in less than 36 hours. And twist? The house reappears every 33 years, always in a new location.